But there are also a few tax-saving investments that you can make on a last-minute basis, right? Arvind, and a lot of people tend to do this. It's not ideal. But what can you do at the end of the year to save taxes? And there's also a threshold for the amount of deductions that you can claim for it to make sense for you to choose the old tax regime. What is that?
Correct. So, given the shortage of time, we are then looking at the ATC section, wherein you can do a mutual fund ELSS or bank FDs, the 5-year bank FDs which qualify for tax savings. This is something which can happen within a day or two, and these are the most often sought. If you have slightly longer time available, insurance policies are also done, and that's why you always have the JFM hype that comes around insurance, especially when these months are around. The other thing which we can think of is the NPS, which gives you a deduction up to 50,000 for a person depositing under ATCCT. So these two, I think, are one of the most sought after sections, which give a taxpayer leeway to do an investment quickly and still claim deduction, even if it means it is Jan or Feb.
Now, ELS is also available under ATC, Arvind, and there are a few options for passive ELSS, which essentially, if you're doing a large cap allocation, there are Nifty 50 ELSS available now. So is that an option you should consider?
Of course. I mean, I think this year we have the fortune that markets are also down. So I'm sure it will not pain the investor to even put a lump sum of 1.5 lakh at one stroke, because you know that these are good levels to get in.
Okay. So that's certainly something to consider. Now, there's also the advanced tax deadline that comes up towards the end of the year, 15th of December, and that's the last deadline of the year. For those that are unfamiliar with this concept, can you explain the thresholds as they go, and what is the amount that is payable at the end of 15th of December? Sorry, 15th of March.
Correct. Yeah. So there are ideally the entire advance tax liability is strewn around 4 installments, which starts by the 15th of June, 15th September, 15th December, and last is the 15th of March. The way the liability is distributed between these dates is it's 15%, 45%, 75%, and finally 100% by the 15th of March. So the rationale behind this is that at every quarter of these, at every dates in these quarters, you estimate your income and you estimate the corresponding tax that arises on this. You take credit for whatever TDS or TCS nowadays that is available. You give credit for that. And if you find that the net amount after taking a deduction of the TDS and TCS is an amount which exceeds 10,000 for the whole year, then you are liable to pay your advance tax as per these installments which I mentioned. So obviously, as the year progresses, these estimates could change because a lot of transactions, and let me be specific here, like specifically capital gain transactions, whether it is buying and selling of shares or funds, may happen in the later part of the year, which an individual might not have foreseen in the month of June or September. So the way the law reads it is that by the 15th of December, which we just passed, you are liable to pay 75% of the total taxes due. So in case you have not paid or short paid taxes in the previous installments, you could cover it up by going up to 75% in December. And furthermore, let's say you haven't paid any installments in the last 3 dates that went by, and in March you pull up your estimate and you suddenly find that you have a liability coming up. You are eligible to pay 100% of that by the 15th of March. And further, for whatever reason, there are certain transactions that happen beyond the 15th of March. No worries, you can still pay advance taxes between the 16th to the 31st of March, which will not, Alex, we should also mention here that what happens if you don't pay this advance tax in these installments. There is a certain amount of interest that is levied, which is typically 1% a month for failure to pay or short pay the advance tax as per these installments. So for all those people who are not able to pay by the 15th of March, they will still be liable to interest for the default in these 4 installments.
Okay.
But by discharging the liability before the 31st of March, they at least save on the interest liability that starts accruing from the 1st of April till the date you pay the taxes and file your return.